Hi there, these comments are for YC. This is Michael, your instructor here in the English language program at California State University, San Bernardino for summer session 2022. I'm glad to have you in my class, and I'm taking a look at what you wrote. So the first thing is, you seem to have a pretty good understanding of the present tense verbs based on what you wrote. Now let me show you a couple of things. When I look at what you wrote, I'm going to go to Microsoft Word for a second. I'm going to have the editor look at what you wrote here. So first of all, you have the editor's score of 90% on this. That's actually quite strong. You did really well there, not a lot of grammar errors. You're using some advanced grammar. Now, the document stats, this is where you can find your improvement. So take a look at what we see here for a minute. First of all, you have average words per sentence is 10.1. That's a little bit low for academic writing. Your characters per word is 4.3. Your grade level here is 5.7. So that's a little bit low. So to help you advance your writing proficiency, I'm going to show you in this video how you can combine sentences a little bit more so that you can create a stronger organization to your ideas. Okay, let's look at the introduction first. And it looks like when I'm looking at the key points of your paragraph, so running can help you lose weight, it makes you rarely get sick, and it makes you happier. These are three good reasons, right? So my favorite hobby is running because we're creating, this is what we call the thesis, because it's a little bit repetitive, a lot of this. My favorite hobby, it can help me lose weight. I'm going to put a comma here. It can make me healthier by helping me lose weight. Instead of helps me rarely get sick, I'm going to say it strengthens my auto immunity system so that I rarely get sick. Okay, wait a minute. My favorite hobby is running because it can make me healthier by helping me lose weight. It can strengthen my autoimmunity system so that I rarely get sick, and can make me feel happier. And then I'm going to put here, therefore, this cardiovascular sport is my favorite hobby. So I'm trying to put some bigger vocabulary words in there because your vocabulary is a little bit basic. So now we have the introduction. However, The instructions is I'm trying to get you to write closer to 100 words, right? So what would that look like? So before you get to the actual thesis here, I asked you to raise the topic a little bit. What would that sound like? So I'm going to add right here another 48 words. So after high school and college, most people find jobs so they can earn money to support them and their families. To help them cope with the challenging stress that may accompany work, some people will find hobbies such as reading books, going on hikes, and playing sports. And then we have what you wrote, what we worked on before. So notice here, this is right around 100 words. So this is what the introduction looks like. So I use some more general and specific more general information first, and then I include my thesis statement right here, and then I explain that this sport is my favorite hobby. So we have after high school and college, most people find jobs so they can earn money to support them and their families. To help them cope with the challenging stress that may accompany work, some people will find hobbies such as reading books, going on hikes, and playing sports. Since I have become more athletically inclined in my adulthood years, my favorite hobby is running because it can make me healthier by helping me lose weight, can strengthen my autoimmunity system so that I rarely get sick, and can make me feel happier. Therefore, this cardiovascular sport is my favorite hobby. So that's the introduction. Okay, first, running can help me lose weight. Why is that? My body will burn will burn more calories Okay, so I'm trying to get into the idea of using some longer sentences. Remember that your average sentence length is about 10.1 words. That indicates a lower level type um, grammar and sentence structure. Before I started running, I thought I was a little fat. I'm going to put a comma here, use a compound sentence here, and it I'm going to change this to past tense, I think. It made me feel bad when I took pictures with other people. I heard from other people that running I heard from other people that running I'm going to put during this difficult I'm going to make this self-esteem. And this kind of ties back to the previous sentence. During this difficult time of self-esteem issues, I heard from other people that running, and let's change this to the past tense form, could. Running could help me lose weight. So let's use a comma here, and we'll use this so as a coordinated conjunction to connect the sentences together. During this difficult time of self-esteem issues, I heard from other people that running could help me lose weight, so I started running. The result of this, of rigorous, so we don't repeat running too many times of this rigorous. How about exercise regimen. The result the result of this form of this the result of this don't need that. The result of this rigorous exercise regimen did not become very obvious in the first few days I started running, and I did not lose any weight. However, let's talk about how maybe when you started running, you didn't just run 6 miles immediately. You probably started with shorter distance runs. I'm guessing, right? However, I started to increase my runs from 1 mile to 2 miles, and then eventually I worked up to running 6 miles continuously, a distance maybe which took me a little more than 1 hour, you might say. However, I started to increase my runs from 1 mile to 2 miles, and eventually I worked up to running 6 miles continuously, a distance which took me a little more than an hour. After insisting on running After insisting on running longer and longer distances for a while, I began to lose a lot of weight. You can put, in fact, I reduced my body weight from 187 pounds to a little to less than 163 pounds. All right, so I'd probably do something like that. So look at the paragraph now. What do we got? We got 178 words. That's a fairly what we call in-depth paragraph, and I'm trying to showcase instead of having 10 sentences as my average, it's a little bit longer than that. Okay, let's look at the next one. Say running makes me really get sick because the continuous we have to be careful we don't repeat the same word too many times. A continuous exercise makes my auto immune system stronger so that my body can resist diseases. See, something like that. You see that what you got to look at is these connector words. These connector words help you to combine your sentences more. So running makes me rarely get sick because the continuous exercise makes my autoimmune system stronger so that my body can resist diseases. Before I started running, you need to go back to, I think, past tense. I would say I used to get sick. I used to get sick frequently. To illustrate, put that connecting word in there to help show you're going to give a specific example. I would get a cold or fever quickly when the environment changed from summer to fall, or from fall to winter. Feeling sick makes people, maybe it's too strong to say every person, but feeling sick makes people very ill, and I was not an exception. Okay, let's see what else we can say here. Okay, let's keep going here. Running, you might say, therefore, I wanted to start a sport which would reduce the number of times I became ill each year. In fact, I have learned some important facts about running, say all of which are motivating me to continue this healthy, how about healthy hobby? So if you put this helps tie in these facts that you're stating about the running. I wanted to make sure that there was a connection here. So let's look at what we have. To illustrate, I would get a cold or fever very quickly when the environment changed from summer to fall or from fall to winter. Feeling sick makes people very ill, and I was not an exception. Therefore, I wanted to start a sport that would reduce the number of times I became ill each year. In fact, I I learned some important facts about running, all of which are motivating are motivating me to continue this healthy hobby? Or which are motivating me to continue this healthy hobby? Running helps people to circulate protective cells throughout their bodies. Additionally, when I'm running, the rising body temperature can prevent the development of bacteria. How about this? Finally, you might put here, sweat can also help us exhale bad things from our bodies. Therefore, running helps me stay away from diseases. And has, let's use the present perfect tense here, and has improved my immune system. You don't got to persuade me, my friend. I ran today. I ran all weekend long. I'm not kidding you. Okay, I think we got it. I'm going to connect these two together here. Okay, let's look at it again. You remember that? That was a shorter paragraph. Now we are 169 words. That's a good solid paragraph for academic writing, right? Okay. Okay, running running makes me feel happier by releasing. So we have a longer sentence here. Running makes me feel happier by, I'm using a preposition plus a gerund phrase. Running makes me feel happier by releasing endorphins in the brain that can make, you want to go back to me here. Notice how you said me here. That can make me more comfortable, more energetic, and more awake. How about so these chemicals, so that these natural, how about exercise induced chemicals? So these exercise induced chemicals are, I'm going to say, perhaps the best painkiller that minimizes my discomfort. Running is also a great stress reliever. And let's put a comma here and we can connect these two sentences. Running is also a great stress reliever, and whenever I have stress, I will just run for an hour. See, notice what we did. So we increased a lot of those really short sentences. We're at 20, which is better than what it was, right? After running, I just feel more relaxed. Running gives me a sense of accomplishment. After running, I feel more. We got to go back to not just relax, but you feel happier. Running makes me feel relaxed. How about after running, I just feel more relaxed? Maybe we can do this. I have a sense of accomplishment. And I have a sense of accomplishment. When I set a goal in running and accomplish it through my hard work, how about it leads to, instead of it's a little bit cumbersome. How about this? Let's use this. Setting a goal in running and accomplishing it through hard work, and then get rid of it and say just leads to happiness. These three reasons show that running makes me feel happier. So it makes me feel happier. I get a lot of fun in running. You basically already said that. That's a little bit repetitious there. You could probably develop this idea. I don't have time to do that right now, but you could probably try to get this a little bit more so it has the same type of development as the previous paragraphs. Running can benefit me multiple ways by helping me lose weight, avoid sickness, so we need to restate your key ideas. I think is important here. To sum up, running can benefit me in multiple ways by helping me lose weight, avoid sickness, and feel happier. Running is my favorite hobby. And we can just say, and is a critical part. Important is a fairly overused word, is a critical, or how about this? What if you said integral? And is an integral part of my life. So I will insist on running every day. We got to go on a run together, my friend. We got to do it. Okay, I think we have it. So I actually made some changes here. This gives you an idea of the difference between academic writing versus what you wrote. Remember before that your average sentence length was 10.1 words, your grade level was 5.7? What have we done now? So now it's still not perfect, but our average words per sentence now is 20.3, and we increased the character per word a little bit to 4.5. So your grade level has doubled. You went from 5 to 10.1. So I know that your English skills right now are a little bit more basic, so you can improve a little bit more on that. So if you're over at my website, the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT, right? You want to know what are some lessons, what are some things that you can do that can help you to improve. What can you do to help you improve your grammar and your writing? So go to the grammar part of my course. I want you to study the lesson. It's called Sentence Variety. I think it's like grammar lesson number 26. Go over to bettertoeflscores.com, my blog. I want you to check out the lesson or type in the keywords in the search box, TOEFL sentence variety, and you can get some more practice exercises with sentence combining. I also notice your lack of transition words. You can do a little bit better job using more transition words, I think, in your writing. So go over to, if you go to the Better TOEFL Scores again, type in the keywords TOEFL transition words, and you get a link to some really good lessons to help you with that also. Okay? So grammatically, I think what you have to do is you controlled your present tense verbs fairly well, but you did have trouble sometimes when you went into the past tense verbs. That's where you had a little bit of trouble shifting from the present to the past time frame. You didn't quite always make that transition effectively. So you want to be careful about your verb tenses. I think for the most part you have a good command over your present verb tenses. All right, and thank you for completing this assignment.